Hi, I'm Jo Lucas, Director at Co-Create and the founder of the not-for-profit Ego to Eco, which is being set up to effect an industry-wide shift from our historical ego-driven approach to a more eco-centric outcome. We're working in collaboration with the artist Wolfgang Buttress of the Hive in Kew Gardens, and we're seeking to create a shared virtual world where communities of interest can gather and connect across boundaries. And why do we need to do this? Well, for those of us who work in the messy, chaotic, ever-changing world of project management and of major projects, the way we're working just no longer feels adequate to meet the existential crises heading our way of the climate and biodiversity challenge. The way we've set ourselves up to work no longer feels like it's working. So how do we go about becoming a regenerative presence within the system? Perhaps we need to look towards nature to gain our inspiration. What you're looking at here is mycelium. And for anyone who's been reading books like Overstory or Finding the Mother Tree, you'll be familiar with the fact that ecologists are only just now discovering the role that mycelium plays in helping trees to almost talk to each other. And this always reminds me of how our own shadow organizations work. Innovisor, through their extensive knowledge of social network analytics, has come up with this thing called the 3% rule. And I guess this is almost intrinsically known to us through the way that something like Twitter works. But within our mycelium, there are these incredible fonts of knowledge and connection, but they're not always who we expect them to be. So perhaps it's time that we look below the surface of our organizations, deep into the mycelium, and start to reveal the hidden, to acknowledge those people that work deep within our networks who are holding knowledge and influence that we need if we're going to create the change we're looking to create. Danilo Meadows, a systems thinker, probably puts it best in this saying. I really particularly like, we can't impose our will on the system. And I almost feel like we should have a sentence there which says, despite us continuously trying to. But I do like the end caveat of, we can listen to what the system tells us. And Ego to Eco is all about, how do we listen to those hidden voices? This is a statement that will strike fear into the heart of any good project manager. Our job is typically considered to be bringing chaos into order and creating certainty. But perhaps when there is so much uncertainty, we need to be thinking more in terms of compasses rather than roadmaps. And at the risk of mixing the metaphors, we should be allowing multiple pathways to emerge so that we can learn to surf the waves of change. So what is Ego to Eco? Well, Ego to Eco is seeking to run a series of virtual events around the time of COP26 in Glasgow, based on topics chosen by sponsors of each tree. And it will look to connect and listen to a wide cross-section of people, all answering the same question. What does it mean to you to shift from ego to eco? Here are some of the answers from an original event that we ran, and it really did get people excited and thinking. And these conversations are interpreted by Wolfgang, and using parts of the tree, we're able to actually reflect and create a unique tree from the conversations that has responded to them. And from these events, a forest will emerge. We're looking to launch the digital platform, which is effectively like a gaming platform, in February of next year, with an exciting reverse digital twin event in Kew Gardens. And you'll be able to experience it online as well, being able to come really close up down to the individual dots within the environment to see exactly what made up the conversations, to hear and experience them, and to be able to react to them. So how can you take part? Well, there's a number of ways. You can share an Ego to Eco story here at this event. I can provide you with these links so that you can create something like this to go on a Miro board that we're sharing. You can register for the opportunity to be one of the people who gets to take part in the virtual events at COP26. And you can become a tree sponsor. So if you'd like to know more, come and find me.